Welcome to r/leopardsatemyface, where there's actions to your consequences. Starting off with gas prices. Why didn't they stop giving us the carbon tax rebate if gas prices are still rising? Am I missing something? Yes, your brain. Am I missing something? How much time have you got? Yeah, they are only missing it all from the jump. Well, don't blame them guys, they might have just been living under a rock for the past 10 years. Oh my goodness, where to start? Empathy, critical thinking skills, research skills? Shall I continue? You forgot a brain. Breaking news, any Republican who signs Rep. Thomas Massey's discharge petition on the Epstein files will be seen as committing a hostile act against the Trump admin. I really wonder why releasing the Epstein files is hostile to the Trump admin. Real head scratcher that one. I'm so disappointed in Trump and his whole administration. I thought it would be so different than it is. Well, yeah, you must have really sucked up that propaganda. He's lost the plot. He's lost. I cannot fathom what the hell happened to him. But at this juncture, it's wearisome. We deserve better than this. We absolutely deserve better. I did not vote for this shit. You did. You voted for a liar. Got a liar. So, you were saying? Read the comment below. He's lost the plot. Yeah, no. You've just been ignoring the plot. Well, yeah, because of course you're not going to realize how shit your dear leader is if, like, for the past 10 years you've put your fingers in your ears and gone la 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 la, can't hear you, la 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 la. Arkansas farmers praying for help because Trump has abandoned them. I thought Trump was sent by God himself to make America great again. He literally put that in a fucking email and people still take him seriously? Come on. Well, I mean, thoughts didn't work. That's a hell of a point. How dare you? Thoughts and prayers are the strongest possible response to any crisis. Well, yeah. Hurricane? Thoughts and prayers. Nuclear Armageddon? Thoughts and prayers. Wife left you? Thoughts and prayers. Hear me out. What if we reversed them? Prayers and thoughts. Worth a shot, right? I think you've cracked it. That will definitely make a difference. Yo, screw Trump getting the Nobel Peace Prize. I think this guy does. We're about to solve literally every problem ever because of this. MAGA Granny voted for Trump 3 times and is surprised that he let her down. Didn't think he would let you down after the first 2 votes? I mean, 3rd time's the harm, I guess. I voted for Trump 3 times, and I believed in him. It's been 10 years. Not one arrest, no deportations, and Epstein fail. Prices are higher than ever, and no one can afford a rent or a home. The Ukraine war has not ended, and 37 trillion in debt and climbing. I mean, maybe him saying that all of this shit would be solved day one. He was actually talking like day one of like a couple of presidents down the line. You know, after they all undo his damage. Imagine actually believing that Trump cares about you. Well, you'd be right if you were like one of the couple of thousand rich people that actually get benefited from this. I could never get over how stupid these people are. Reap what you sow, as they say, I guess. He is their god, and one thing I've learnt about Christians is that you must never, ever, ever doubt your god. No matter how stupid God's shit gets, blind faith will be rewarded with, in her case, a big brown turd in her purse. Well, yeah, it's a reward. It's not a good reward, but it's still something, you know? Why aren't you saying thank you? Trump campaigned for the release of the Epstein files until he finds out he's the main subject. Well, I mean, he campaigned on it. And it's Trump. So did you actually expect him to do it? No, of course not. I think if they literally just voted in like a monkey with a typewriter, I think they would be more likely to release the Epstein files than President Poopy Diaper over here. Because at least the monkey's not in the fucking list. Trump, who campaigns on releasing the Epstein files, gets roasted for calling them a Democrat hoax. Also, didn't they say that they're just gonna redact all of the right-winger names if they release them? I saw that somewhere. I don't know if it's true, but Jesus Christ. Even then, a solid chunk of it would be censored just from Trump alone. A year after making campaign promises to release info on the convicted sex trafficker, the president is now blaming his enemies. If it was a Democrat hoax, wouldn't have they just released it? He knew he was in them. It's not like he suddenly forgot about all the child abuse that he participated in. He just thought he could use it as a tool to get re-elected. Then, once in office, complete his mission to dismantle democratic institutions so he couldn't be held accountable. And surprise, surprise, it worked. I can imagine a very likely scenario where he had to be told by Bondi and the FBI guy that his name, his donors, GOP officials he may or may not have appointed appear more than a few dozen times in very incriminating sections. And he didn't actually know about it or thought he had nothing to do with it. Hey chat, if you guys are enjoying the video, you should totally support this gay guy reading stuff by liking, subscribing and sharing, because it helps a lot. Anyways, back to the video. Men overwhelmingly vote for Trump because he's better for the economy. According to who? Here's an interesting find. From the higher quality CES data, men have lost 56,000 jobs over the past 4 months. With women gaining about 76% of the jobs in 2025, compared to 50% normally. Trump's effort to bring back men jobs with tariffs has backfired spectacularly, causing those industries to shrink. This fucking delusion that people seem to have that Republicans equals good economy and Democrats equals bad economy has got to be some of the most fucking stupid shit I've ever heard. Why? You know, surely you would have learnt that, like, no, Republicans don't just equal good economy. The past couple of decades of Republicans being shit for the economy. But hey, I guess I'm too woke or something to understand. The data doesn't matter. People who say that vote on vibes. The mere fact that most Americans didn't know what tariffs are leads me to believe our education system and our regulation, or lack thereof both, propaganda has doomed our country beyond repair. For fuck's sake, Google Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. And that shit didn't even target penguins. See, you guys, you don't understand? The reason that America's going down the shit pit is because we fucked with the penguins. You never fuck with the penguins. Have you seen penguins in Madagascar? You don't do that shit. It was actually in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Easy to find and entertaining to watch. Americans were too lazy to watch even 30 seconds to understand it. More Gen X folks voted for Trump than boomers did for Trump last election, and Ferris Bueller is a Gen X movie. Are they gonna blame this on Biden too? The fuck kind of question's that? Of course they will. 1/3 of Arkansas farmers are projected to go bankrupt by next year due to Trump, actually, Biden's tariffs. They're now begging him for more money just to survive. In 2024, Arkansas voted Trump over Harris 64% to 33%. The sad part is they'll keep on voting for it, because for some reason it's easier for them to keep on voting Republican than it is to keep on voting Democrat, the odd time that they do actually vote Democrat. You know, they might only do it once, and then like instantly get skittish and keep voting Republican. Just like those fucking idiots who were still proud to be unvaccinated to COVID on their deathbeds dying of COVID. But yeah, you didn't want to get the Bill Gates Democrat Microsoft computer chip in you that did. Don't ask me. I remember that nurse interviewed and telling her and telling how she had to tell these die-hard anti-vaxxers that it was too late, as they beg for the vaccine now that they're on their deathbed. Fuck around and find out, baby. MAGA influencers say that their income is tanking. Oh no, they weren't immune from it as well. Oh no. But I mean, Charlie Kirk and all that still gonna be shilling Trump to the day they die. Young MAGA influencers say their income is tanking due to Trump. Well, these people shilled them out for a hot minute and are surprised that, like, despite doing all of this research, oh, they didn't. Or alternatively, they just ignored the info. They only had an income because of Trump. This is just the natural conclusion of the cycle for anyone even tangentially associated with Trump. Well, yeah, he's a fucking parasite. He latches onto people and sucks them dry and somehow fucking profits from it. You guys remember how Charlie Smells Weird had a steep drop in subscribers after he said he was no longer gonna talk about the Epstein list because his friends at the White House told him to? Then he tried to backpedal and lie and say that he just wasn't going to talk about it for the rest of the day. And most people certainly didn't buy that BS. Charlie Kirk has subscribers? Jesus, I thought Nigerian 435 scams had sucked all the air out of the room. Well, hey, if you guys are subscribed to Charlie Kirk, you should totally buy my bridge. Yeah, you can buy a millionth share of my bridge for a low price of $500. You get nothing from it, but you can say you own a millionth of a bridge. I voted for Trump. That's your first mistake, but he did something so wrong. What is this gonna be? Something that affects them, something that affects them, something that affects them, or something that affects them. When he took my scholarships away, something that affects them. If you said something that affects them, you get a cookie. My granddaughter went to school for 18 years to become a lawyer. She was homeless several times and tried to work to make it. She's supposed to graduate next year, but now she has to pay the fees of $6,000. She might not be able to. She needed the loan, and she is a single mom trying to better herself. But the government will support someone that don't want to work? I'm really pissed at you, Trump. Whoa, don't say that. He's gonna read that and get really sad and then be forced to help you. And then you quit dreaming. How about next time you don't vote for Trump? Crazy thing, right? But like, maybe not? Prices are way down. Prices are way down in the USA. With virtually no inflation, with the exemption of ridiculous, corrupt politician-approved windmills. He's still talking about windmills. They're wind turbines, which are killing every state and country that uses them. Are we back at the sky whales again? The apparent 160 whales that windmills killed? Sorry, but last time I checked, windmills were used to ground up fucking grain, not power the US. I mean, unless grinding up grain really kills that many whales, I mean, oof, jeez. Energy prices are falling, big time. Gasoline is at many-year lows. All of this despite magnificent tariffs, which are bringing in trillions of dollars from countries that took total advantage of us. It's actually bringing in money from your own citizens that are paying the tariffs because the other countries don't pay for the tariffs. I know it's like insanely hard to be president, but like, you know, basic tenets of economics. Anyone? Alright. For decades, and are making America strong and respected again. I think it's actually making America a fucking laughingstock and poorer. Prices have not dropped. The only thing that have dropped is the quality and quality of anything you pay for. Did you mean the quality and quantity? And just said the quality and quality? I don't know. I'm not a grammatical genius like the average MAGA. I love real Donald Trump, but he's got this one wrong. Think he needs to get out and talk to the people rather than look at fake figures. Are we speaking like cavemen now? I've got a good one for you. Trump tariff. Tariff poor. Vote Trump. America poor. Did that get through your thick fucking skull? Try and buy meat and tell me prices are down. It's ridiculously high. Alright, let's speak in caveman for these people. Farmer make meat. Meat good. Meat expensive to make. Government give farmer money to make meat. You vote Trump. Trump take away money. Farmer can't make meat. Meat expensive. Because no money. Is that how we got to explain it to them now? Looks like Big Cheeto had other plans for Space Command, and other plans by NASA by the looks of it, by cutting like 20% of his fucking budget. You know, it's not like we've got a bunch of weather satellites and different technologies being made in space that are one of the reasons America's so far ahead technologically. And now that they're stripping it away, countries like China and Russia are going to be able to catch up. But hey, space is woke, right? Space Command will stay in Colorado, its rightful home. Our bipartisan and bicameral effort will put politics aside to put Colorado first. This will keep thousands of jobs and millions of dollars here in Colorado, including good-paying jobs for people that live in Pueblo. Yeah, that lasted long, didn't it? Trump announces that Space Command is moving from Colorado to Alabama. Reason being, Colorado's woke. That's not a joke, by the way, because apparently mail-in voting is woke. I don't know. They're putting politics into space and punishing Colorado. She'll now come out, say it's a brilliant idea to move it to Alabama and blame Biden, or some shit like that. Or alternatively, her herself will move to Alabama and run there. Didn't you hear? Biden and trans kids forced the Space Force out of Colorado, and Alabama is well known for checks, notes, football, racism, and a poor quality of living, I suppose. Kicking out millions from the United States, and surprised that the population is shrinking? US population could shrink for the first time ever in 2025. Alarming data shows. Whoa, mass and illegal deportations and persecution of people equals less people wanting to be here, more people being removed, and less people coming here. Oh no, the consequences of your own actions and no one wanting to be in your country anymore? The comments are all stupid as you can imagine. Well, I mean, it's r/conservative, so what would you expect? Who cares? Deport more. The Dems did this. Imagine complaining about the cost of living going up and blaming the poorest of our society instead of the billionaires that actually benefit from prices going up. That's what happens when you view society through a hierarchical lens. The wealthy robbing them blind makes sense to them, but someone they view as below them receiving benefits? Well, that's social treason in their eyes. Basically, I love people that are richer than me and hate people that are poorer than me. And also sprinkle in a bunch of narcissism, with a case of everyone else can go die for all I care, but it better not affect me. The man who bowed down to Trump all of these years. McConnell. There's certain similarities right now to the 30s. Whoa, when you're just completely complacent in letting a racist sex offender multiple time felon in, that's policies are completely regressive, they're actually regressive and don't give a shit about the country? No way. Trump voters surprised that Trump cares more about rich tech oligarchs than him? The multi-billionaire gives a shit more about billionaires than the middle class? No, the propaganda said otherwise. Tech leaders. Bill Gates says he will work together with President Trump to eradicate diseases with vaccines and gene editing. I thought the right, hated Bill Gates' guts or some shit. Does that just, not exist anymore? Or what? Mark Zuckerberg and Sam Altman were also in attendance. But no Musk? Must be because they're still reeling after that breakup and can't stand each other. I don't support Trump. I regret my vote. Unless Massey is on the ballot, I won't be voting. Well, you could vote Democrat? Vote to make sure that he doesn't get back in office? Oh, you're such a snowflake you can't handle being called a lib. Oh no. Screw these people. How about screw you for literally just not being helpful at all? I'm only still gonna vote Republican, but I'm just not gonna vote at all if it's something I don't like. You know, instead of like voting for the other guy, so the guy that I don't want to get in doesn't get in. No, you just can't vote them because that's treasonous, I guess.